hear you, can't hear me. So I'm sorry about that, just somebody else joined the meeting. So just go from side to side. And then gently slow down and come to the center of your mat. Lift and roll your shoulders back. Lift and roll your shoulders back. Standing with your feet comfortably hip width apart. Breathing in, raise your arms. You can bend them at the elbows or then just extend straight up, depending on your shoulder capacity. Clasp your hands, reverse, and stretch up. Press your feet into the ground. Breathing out, go to one side. Breathing in, come to the center and stretch up again. And breathing out, go to the other side. Breathing in, come to the center. Breathing out, turn slightly. Breathing in, come back to the center. And breathing out, turn the other way. Breathing in, come to the center. Now, breathing out, lower your hands, either to here. If that's too much, you can bring your hands onto your waist. Breathing out, turn your head and look beyond the third finger of that hand. Breathing in, come back to the center. And breathing out, turn and look beyond the third finger of the other hand. Breathing in, come back to the center and lower your arms. Lift and roll your shoulders. And then place your hands on your knees or on your thighs here and just bend your knees, your bottom goes away, and feel the abdominal control switches on here. Breathing in, gently come back to standing. And once more lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, clasp your hands behind your back. If that's too much for you, then hold your wrists or hold your elbows. And then turn to the left. Come to the center and then turn to the right. And come to the center. And release your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. This action of constantly lifting and rolling your shoulders allows energy to travel beyond this area, collarbones and shoulder area, up into the head, so it re-energizes you. And place your hands on your thighs, bending down, so that your bottom and top of your head form a straight line. You can slide your hands to your shins now, and as you breathe in, lengthen from the base of your spine to the collar to the top of your head, and then breathe out, bend in. And then press your feet into the ground as you roll up vertebra by vertebra, and once more just lift and roll your shoulders. And then finally, as we inhale, raise your hands up above your head. You can always bend your elbows, but otherwise, if this is good for your neck, look up. If not, look straight ahead. And feel that your thumbs are coming backwards and your little fingers forwards. And then breathing out, lower your hands. And just lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, raise one hand. Breathing out, turn to look to the inside of that arm, that hand. Come back to the center and breathing out, lower your arm. And then breathing in, raise the other hand. Breathing Out, turn to the inside, come back to the center, and breathing out, lower your hand. Lift and roll your shoulders. So this next exercise is very strange, but it actually moves every joint in your body. And it aligns very much with the Chinese system. So imagine you're a bird and you're flying, and you can feel the weight going through your feet, your knee joint, your entire skeleton is getting a workout. As you raise your arms, it doesn't matter how much you raise them, but you can feel that your respiratory function and also your cardiac function is just beginning to move. It's beginning to get some exercise, but at the same time, it's terribly gentle. And then just bring your hands together and lift and roll your shoulders once more. Turn your head to one side, come to the center, and turn your head to the other side. Come to the center, lift and roll your shoulders, and then hopefully you can hear me. Go and get a chair and come to on your chair, and we're going to carry on some seated yoga, but it's also a complete workout. So coming to sit on your chair.
I don't have a chair. I sold them all last week.
Okay.
I can sit on the sofa.
Yeah, sit on the sofa, that's fine.
Okay.
So sit on the sofa and come to be comfortable. And the first thing we're going to do is either put our hands on our knees or put our hands on the chair and just raise one foot, extend the heel and lower the heel. Extend and lower, and extend your heel and lower your heel. And then circle your ankle in one direction, circle your ankle in the other direction, and finally just open your toes. This opens the lung meridian at the base of your foot as the toes join the foot, and relax your foot. And then come to the other foot as you raise your foot, point your toes, extend your heel, and point. And I can see somebody else is looking to enter the meeting, so I'm going to admit that person. And
I've done the photo.
hi there, Julie.
Hi. Hi.
Sorry, going
Thanks
upstairs.
for everything. Extend your heel and lower your heel. And then begin to circle. I'm seated, Julie. Begin to circle your foot in one direction. And then circle your foot in the other direction. And then open your toes, stretch your toes. Again, you're activating the lung meridian as the toes join the foot. And then just release your foot back down to the ground. And you can, I don't know if you can see, I'm raising my heels and I'm just bouncing my feet on the floor. So you're raising your heels, just setting up a very tiny vibration going through your body. And then place your hands on your knee. Drop your hands underneath your right knee, it doesn't matter which knee. Lift your foot off the ground. And then just let your knee or your legs swing, your lower legs swing. This very simple action lubricates the knee joint. It's so easy to do. And then just very gently bring your foot back down to the ground and transfer your hands to the other side as you let your lower leg swing, again lubricating the knee joint. And then lower your foot down to the ground. If you wanted to give your knees extra love and care, the entire knee joint is a mama point. So you can take your hands and massage around, just massaging under the knee, on top of the knee. You can keep your foot on the ground and just raising it so that I'm being clear. People can see. I'm aware that someone hasn't got audio. And then just come back. Hands on knees. Sit up, lengthening your spine. And this action lifts your chest, which is very uplifting also for one's mood. And it gives space for all your organs to receive blood. They're not squashed down. So sitting tall and then breathing out lower, round, chin to chest. Inhaling, sitting up, and breathing out, chin to chest. This becomes, as you sit up again, a cat-cow action. It's a seated one. Warming the spine up, chin to chest. The chin to chest activates the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve quells inflammation. So it's beginning to be calming as you come forward. Inhaling, flexing forward, and inhaling, and flexing forward, and inhaling and flexing forward. So we're going to do a seated salute to the sun. So feet, again, hip width apart. Breathing in, raise your arms. You can have them bent or you can have them straight up. Look up. Breathing out, lower your arms back onto your thighs and come forward as little or as much as you would like. Or forward then. Inhaling, slide your hands up your legs and hold on to the seat of your chair or sofa as you raise one leg, just to see that. And lower it, and then raise the other leg and lower it. You're stretching out the back of your leg here. Sit up, still holding the sofa or the chair, or you can rest your hand on your thigh. Open your one hand sideways and turn your head to look to your thumb. Bring your head back and lower your arm. And then open the other arm to the side. Turn your head and look to your thumb. Come back to the center and lower your hand. Holding your knees or the chair edge, press your hands down, lengthen along the front of your body. We're back to our back bend, uplifting for the chest. And then just raise your chin in a controlled movement and raise your eyes to look up. No throwing of the head back, just a controlled upward look. This is both uplifting, but also the action of raising the eyes disconnects the eyes from the stress centers of the brain, and then just release back to normal. And finally, raising your hands upwards, either looking ahead or looking up, and breathing out, lower your hands, and lift and raise, lower your shoulders. That's a salute to the sun. And we'll come back to that in this class. So we move from the knees and we go up to the hips. We can do this seated or standing. So as we're seated, I'm going to invite you to put your hands on your thighs And just make little circles around in one direction. Remember, when you're making your circles, to slightly engage your abdominal muscles so that you're not letting anything hang out. You're giving support to your back by engaging your abdominal muscles, and then reverse your circle. As you come forward, your chin can slightly lower so that the back of your neck is long. Just circling. I'm just going to admit one more person. And hello, Shirley. Then some people also find this really quite good if they stand up. You don't have to stand up, but I just wanted to show you what this is like. There's somehow more flexibility of movement as you breathe out, bending your knees, going behind you, and then breathing in as you stand up. And then reverse your circle. Breathing in as you stand up, and then breathing out as you bend your knees, and your bottom is going slightly behind you. So that's an option for that one. And you're moving energy in your lower abdominal area here. I'm going to sit down, and we'll do another salute to the sun. So breathing in, hands up. You can look ahead or look up. Breathing out, bend your elbows and slide your hands down your leg. I'll go sideways and you can see what I'm doing. Press your hands into your shins as you have a sense of lengthening along your spine from the tailbone to the top of your head. Breathing out, bend down, open your elbows to the side. Press your hands into your shins again to support you as you walk your hands up your legs. Hold your chair or your seat as you extend one leg, extend your heel and lower. And then the same again, extend the other leg and lower. Again, just lift and roll your shoulders. And sitting up, this time we can just try a different rotation. Place one hand on your thigh and either place the other hand behind you on your seat or on the side of the chair, lengthen your spine, and turn towards your shoulder. Your turn is small. Your head is the last thing to turn, and only turn as little or as much as you would like. And then come back, press your hands down to lengthen your body, and then we come to the other side, just slightly turn, only as much as it's comfortable for you. Come back to the center, hold your knees or your seat, lift your chest, lift your chin, and raise your eyes, only lifting your chin to where it's comfortable. Come back to the center, and then one more time, raise your hands upwards, looking ahead or looking up, breathing out, lower your hands back down to the side, and once more lift, roll your shoulders. We've moved from the turn to, the twist is moving the digestive system of the navel area, which is done that. But we're now moving up to the heart center. And I've got my hands at my heart. And as I breathe in, I open my hands out. And as I breathe out, I bring my hands back to my heart. You open your arms as little or as much as you like. So breathing in, open your hands a lot or a little bit. Breathing out, bring your hands back to your chest. You can slightly lower your chin, calming the nervous system. Inhaling, opening your hands out. Breathing out, hands come back to the center, lower your chin to your chest. Inhaling, hands out. Breathing out, hands back. As you open your hands, just feel your chest muscles opening. You're actually opening your chest. Breathing out. And the muscle neck tissue, as you open out, is connects to your heart. One more time, opening out and then bringing back. Lowering your hands back down to your waist. And we'll do another salute to the sun. So inhaling, raising your arms up, looking ahead or up. Breathing out, lowering your hands, sliding your hands down. Inhale, lengthen along your spine from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathing out, come forward, elbows out to the side. Inhale, press your hands into the shin as you lengthen. Stay here as you breathe out. And then inhaling, come to trace your fingers up to support you to come to a seated position. Hold your chair and inhaling, lengthen one leg, extend your heel, lower your leg. And inhaling, extend the other heel. And then lower your leg. Inhaling, go back to a simple twist that opens the side and turning your head, looking up towards your thumb. Breathing out, lowering your hand. And inhaling the other side. And coming back. Press your hands on your thighs as you lengthen your body. Hold your seat or hold your thighs. And gently lift your chest. The option is to look up. You don't have to. Depends how you feel about this. And then come back to the center. And breathing in. Raise your hands upwards. Either looking ahead or looking up. And then breathing out with your hands. And once more, lift and roll your shoulders. And we're coming now to the center, which connects to the thyroid and parathyroid. And imagine a horizontal figure of 8. So as you gently move your 8 in a figure of 8, it doesn't matter how big you make the 8. Breathing in as you go up, and breathing out as you come down and complete the circle. Breathing in the other side, and breathing out. So the other thing, apart from the thyroid and the parathyroid, is that the hemispheres of the brain, left and right, are being asked to communicate with each other. So having gone one way, you have favoured your strongest direction, which favours one side or the other. So the invitation is now to reverse that. Don't worry if you get to an absolute muddle. Reverse your 8. A lot of people find this, I find this quite difficult, because I'm having to think about it. And then just very gently turn your head to one side, as little or as much as you'd like. And then come back to the center and very gently turn your head to the other side. And come back to the center. And another salute to the sun as we lift our hands up. Looking up if you want to. Looking ahead if that's good. Breathing out, hands to the thighs. Slide the hands down. Press your hands into your shins as you lengthen tailbone to the top of the head. Breathe out, lower, elbows out. Breathe in, hands go on to the shins, lengthen. Stay here as you breathe out. And now just gently use your fingers to trace and support your body as you come upright again. Hold your chair as you extend one foot, extend the heel. Lower the foot, And extend the other foot. Extend the heel and feel the stretch along the back of the leg. Almost hamstring, sciatic nerve, and then just lower. And sit up. Turn to one side. Use your hand always to take an in and an out breath as you turn. Come back to the center. Press your hands on your thighs as you lengthen the body. And then turn to the other side and take an in and an out breath. Come back to the center. Place your hands comfortably either on your thighs or on the seat as you lift up, just to show that lifting up, lifting from the chest. If you don't want to look up, just look forward, but have that lift up at the chest here, which is classified as a back bend, but also, as I said, it's very mood enhancing. And then inhaling, raising your arms up, looking up or looking ahead, and breathing out, lower your arms back down. You've always got the option to bend your elbows and only lift to where it's comfortable. So there's quite a wave. You could even put your hands on your waist as well. And now we come to the third eye. So the third eye is almost in the center of your forehead, that little dent that your fingers just gently sit into. And the third eye it connects to a lot of functions, but our center of knowledge, of course, and intuition. But from a glandular practical point of view, it connects to our pineal glands and our pituitary glands, though they're in different parts of the brain. And activating those glands, pineal and pituitary, is simply breathing in as you slightly lift your chest, looking up, and breathing out as you lower your chin towards your chest. Be very careful about lifting your chin up, breathing in, only lift as far as you feel comfortable. Never throw your head back, just lift your chin slightly, looking up, and breathing out, lowering your chin to your chest. As you lift your eyes slightly up, you're disconnecting the eyes from the stress centers of the brain. And this particular therapy is being used in the States for post-traumatic stress training. It actively, breathing out, lower your chin to your chest. It actively has an effect of altering the brain waves. It takes time for the brain to adjust. And if you were doing this as part of a yogic practice, you might do this about 50 times, but just a few times gives you a sense of gentle, most subtle movement. You can't retain things in the same way if you're raising your eyes upwards. You will come back to the stress point, but you will have broken that intense connection. So you would, in theory, reconnect on a slightly different plane. And then first, still on this center of intuition, take the fingers of any hand and just lightly trace the fingers, whichever fingers naturally fall onto your forehead, across the forehead in the same direction. It doesn't matter which direction, but you're going from one side, almost at the temples, slightly above the temples, tracing across and coming up the other end. Again, I don't know if this is I go sideways, tracing your fingers across and off the other end. And if you now feel with both hands immediately above your eyebrows, you've got something in energy medicine called the neurovascular. It's a hard bony part. If you've got a big headache, pressing on those neurovascular points just with the pads of your fingers helps to encourage the blood to stay where it is and not leave. Keeps you almost like hydrated. It's very good for a headache. So just press the fingers there, and just your head will slightly and naturally lower, your chin slightly down, that stretches the back of the neck. And that allows or encourages blood to flow into the head. There's not that tightness, it just opens up at the back of the head as well. And then we're still on this third eye. If you take the backs of your thumbs together, like this, and just place them up on your forehead, and just centrifugal, just smooth your thumbs across from the center of your forehead, your third eye, outwards across your temples. It's very soothing. Comes within the Himalayan tradition of yoga. Just smoothing your thumbs across. And then you can stay there or just drop your thumbs to either side of your nose. So this comes to be very good for the sinus. Just smoothing your backs of your thumbs from either side of the nose across your cheeks and out. I can hear Lola. Lovely. Lola yoga. And then just smoothing your backs of your thumbs across. And then you can drop your thumbs even more and just smooth across the lower part. Our chins or our jaw take a lot of stress. And you can actually just smooth the backs of the thumbs across the, or underneath the chin and upwards. Again, really helpful for relieving and smoothing out stress. And then, still in this area of the head, taking whichever fingers, I like to use my thumb and my second finger really, and just gently take your base of your earlobe and going upwards. Your ears reflect your body as well. So just pinch, not pinch, but just press together, release, press together and release. All the way up and down the outside of the ear. Very good for stimulating the ears. If you're interested in the ear as well, then just taking the pads of your thumbs slightly in front of the ear, dropping down and slightly behind the ear, almost at the jawline, is all helpful for the ear points of the body, massaging. And then the final point on the ear, you could do this at home, is if the very top of your ear, if you were wearing a wool hat for skiing or something like that, the wool hat would finish just onto the top of the ear. And there's a dent almost in your skull as the hat just sits on that dent. And that dent is part of the, just above the ear, is part of the ear acupressure point. So just bringing your hands here is very good for hearing. And just massage with your fingers your ear where it feels quite nice. It's different and slightly individual for different people. And actually, when you feel your head, which we don't do very often, there are lots of little dents all over the head, and they're all acupressure points relating to our brain. Now, the brain, of course, is the master controller of everything in our body. So massaging the head is really helpful, and any of those little dents is quite nice. So the major dents you'll find along the centre, potentially, of your head. I know I've mentioned the ear points at the side, but they're centre. You can just literally feel, and you'll find a few little dents in front of and behind the fontanelles where the skull joins. So you can, again, looks mad, but you can just massage there. And then very gently, to finish, right on the crown chakra, just take your hands and almost hold your head. You can have your elbows out or in, just to finish on the crown chakra. So the crown chakra is where we pick up all that consciousness. If we go into a crowded supermarket and it's very busy and there are lots of flickering lights, which we're not doing at the moment, but normally, But someone who's very sensitive can often get quite spaced out by that. But this, again, just grounds you and just can kind of help in that regard. So you're just connecting to your crown chakra, where you interact with the outside world or higher consciousness, so to speak. And then it's releasing your hands and just circling your wrists very gently in one direction and very gently circling your wrists in the other direction. And just opening your fingers and closing your hands, and opening and closing. The hands reflect the feet. They're not quite so, it's not such a powerful practice as reflexology, but they nevertheless reflect the feet. So in the same way that opening your toes is very good to connecting to the lung meridians, and actually, incidentally, the Chinese use opening your toes and closing them as the most tried and tested immune booster, boosting your energy, boosting your circulation. But doing this with your hands is very good too, opening and closing. For the same reason, the lung, for the meridians, opening and closing, but also here, for anyone who might have got arthritis in their fingers, opening and closing is quite good. If you have got arthritis, you might like to take your finger, your hand, and just gently pull, pulling the space in your joints. So pull, pull, pull. It's just energizing your fingers, and then just shake them, and then saying pull, 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 and just energize, just shake everything out. And then just sit for a brief moment. Imagine the air, or feel the air coming in at the base of your nostrils, going up to a point in the center of your head as you imagine it. And as you breathe out, imagine all the air misting down like a shower. And the mist is taking with it anything you don't want today, any thoughts, any niggles, any pain. And it's leading through the soles of your feet, going back to the earth. And once more, breathe in through the base of the nostrils to a point at the center of your head, like a shower, misting everything down through your body, taking with it anything you don't want today, and it leads through the soles of your feet, going back to the elements of earth. And now, the final breath, choose any color that you like, that resonates with you today. And as you breathe in your imaginary air, your actual air through your nose, but imagine it, your air becomes colored, goes through the center of your head, and you mist that colored air all the way down through your body, leading through the soles of your feet, going back to the earth. Take your hands together at the heart and take a bow for yourself. And thought, word, deed. Thank you very much for joining me. Namaste.